Yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, last month when the Yankees were here in Florida, it was no day at the beach. The Rays swept them in a 3-game series. But the Yankees and their fans are hoping they can turn that around and get it going here in Florida here in July. As tonight, the YES Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first game of a 3-game series from Tropicana Field right here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty. Well, the Yankees are trying to turn it around. As we said, they stumbled here last month against these Rays. But one player who's having a hot July is Aaron Judge, their outfielder.
You know, Kenny, Aaron Judge has had such a consistent year, but you're right. The month of July, he's picked up the pace a little bit. Went to the All-Star game, hit a home run, and then continued his hot hitting against the New York Mets, drilling a double to left center field, and then his 26th home run of the year, deep into that bullpen in left center field. Aaron Judge, since the first day of the season, has been locked in. The month of July has been even better.
Well, let's take a look at the numbers for this month. His average is .343, 5 home runs, 7 runs batted in. He has scored 14 times, and look at that OPS. It's over 1,000. The home runs are tied for 4th in the American League. Let's go from hitting to pitching and look at tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank. Hunter Wood will be the opener for the Rays tonight, and Luis Severino, look at that, 14-2 in 20 starts. He goes for the Yankees tonight in this opener, and Flash, he's an all-star.
He's an all-star. He threw a scoreless inning in Washington during the all-star game. But when you win 14 games in the first half and you have an ERA about 2.3, obviously you have great stuff. We're going to take a look at the fastball. He can overpower you up in the zone. The slider has been a devastating pitch for Severino in the first half. A great look at the rotation there. And then he'll mix in just enough of the changeup to make you respect it. Severino, an incredible first half, looking to build on it during the second half.
Let's take a look at the league leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Volkswagen dealers. He's first in wins, 6th in earned run average, 10th in strikeouts, and the OPS, he is 6th. That's it for the pitching tonight. Speaking of pitching, we come back. Meredith Marakovitz going to take a look at the Yankee rotation and how it shapes up for the rest of the week. Meredith Marakovitz when we come back right here on YES.
Welcome back. I'm Meredith Marakovitz. The Yankees suffered yet another rainout last night. Masahiro Tanaka was supposed to get the ball in that one. Instead, he'll now start on Tuesday. Luis Severino goes tonight as scheduled. Severino actually flew ahead of the team, so he is well rested. The team, maybe not so much. They did not arrive to their hotel until after 4 a.m. Luis Cessa will then round out the series against the Rays. Then Sonny Gray will get the ball on Thursday, and CC Sabathia goes Friday on his bobblehead night against the Royals at the stadium. Now, this all worked out in the Yankees' favor if you consider the fact that CC Sabathia has talked a lot about preventative maintenance with that knee. He actually had another lubricant shot in his knee prior to the All-Star break, so this gives the 38-year-old just a couple more days to relax and rest prior to making his first start of the second half of the season. And Sabathia himself has said he has not had any issues with the knee, but the Yankees would like to keep it that way. He has been such an important part to the rotation this year. There'll be plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Ken Singleton will be joined by John Flaherty. First pitch coming your way after the break.
Local Try Acura dealers. By Coke Industries. At Coke, we make things that make the world better. By Subway. Try a signature wrap at Subway restaurants today. And by Planet Fitness. The world judges, we don't. Be free. As you can see, Aaron Boone, Rocco Baldelli, they brought out the lineups. Well, the umpires are going over the ground rules with them, which here at Tropicana Field are not necessarily on the ground. They were talking about the rings, and if a ball collides with the roof or the rings, what the call will be. As Aaron Boone being refreshed, I'm sure Rocco Baldelli knows what's going on when he hits any one of those rings up in the air. We've seen that happen here at Tropicana Field. And then the umpires decide that there's going to be some sort of a race to get themselves loose before the game. And then there's your winner on the left. It looks like first base umpire Tim Timmons. Well, let's check out the Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus tonight. At the very top, the Yankee left fielder will be Brett Gardner. The right fielder, Aaron Judge, will bat second. Didi Gregorius will be at short. The cleanup hitter, the designated hitter tonight, is Giancarlo Stanton, followed by Aaron Hicks in center. Gary Sanchez doing the catching. Greg Bird will be at first base. His last 8 games, he's starting to swing the bat well. 13 runs batted in his last 8 games. Miguel Andujar will be at third base, and batting ninth at second is Neil Walker.
Well, that lineup for the New York Yankees going to face right-hander Hunter Wood, who just finished up his warm-up tosses. We'll look at his numbers on the year. A reliever who is starting the game tonight. His 9th game, his 2nd start. The ERA pretty impressive at 2.70. Check out our scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. I mentioned he's a starting pitcher tonight, but usually a reliever. That's going to be a conversation all night. Good numbers right on right. 192 batting average against. That's what the Rays like. And he's pretty much your typical fastball, slider, curveball pitcher.
So Hunter Wood, his only other start, he's lasted 1 inning or tossed 1 inning against the Tigers. Here we go at Tropicana Field. The first pitch a little high for ball 1 to Brett Gardner. Here are the numbers for Gardner on the year. 252 with 9 home runs, 33 runs batted in. Wood's next pitch is pop foul behind home plate just over our heads, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike. The Yankees, of course, were rained out last night, the final game of their series with the Mets, and they split that series, a game apiece. 8 rainouts this year for Aaron Boone's club. Tied with the Tigers for most in the major leagues. That game will be made up August 13th. That pitch is a little high to Gardner, and it's 2-1. And we mentioned rainouts, but actually one of those was a snow out. It was a little colder that day, and you can actually see why you weren't playing. Gardner ahead on the count, 2-1. Wood's pitch is fouled off to the left, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike.
Kenny, you mentioned that rain out last night, and the frustrating part for the Yankees, they didn't get into Tampa until about 4 in the morning to their team hotel. So sometimes you get a rain out, you get out of town early, you get a decent night's sleep. Not the case last night for the Yankees.
Well, the only one who got here on time and got a decent night's sleep is tonight's starter for the Yankees, Luis Severino, and that could be a good thing. Wood deals, and Gardner spoils another one. Count remains 2-2. Wood was a 29th round draft pick of the Rays back in 2013 out of Howard College in Big Springs, Texas. He's a native of Arkansas, lives in Springdale, Arkansas, and this is his first ever appearance against the New York Yankees. Kind of a slow, easy delivery. Ground ball. Bauer has it at first and steps on the bag, and there's 1 out. Let's check out the rest of the Rays on defense, which is presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's going to be Wendell in left, Kiermaier back in the lineup. He's in center. Smith is in right. Duffy, Adames, Robertson, and Barnes round out the infield. Jesus Sucre doing the catching for Hunter Wood. Nice round of applause as Aaron Judge, all 6'7" of him, steps into the batter's box. Working on a 4-game hitting streak. Swing and a miss, strike 1. We showed you his numbers. 343 during the month of July, which has raised his average up to 286. That 26th home run came on Saturday against the Mets. High and away for a ball. Judge is tied with Miguel Andujar. 28 multi-hit games. High and away, ball 2, 2-1. But 19 of those multi-hit games have come at Yankee Stadium, where he has just been a terror. That's how the Rays set up on defense. You can see the shift is on. Robertson, the second baseman, on the left side of second base. The outfield playing the other way. They expect him to hit the ball in the air towards right. And this pitch is popped up in foul territory. Bauer coming over near the Rays dugout. He will not have a play. That will be a souvenir, and the count will move to 2-2 on Aaron Judge.
You know, when I see big Aaron Judge up at the plate, and we saw the home plate umpires going through the ground rules and talking about the catwalks and the rings. I played on this original team in 1998, and the engineers said no way will baseballs hit those catwalks, and obviously they didn't know what they were talking about. And then you picture Aaron Judge with how high and majestic his home runs are. Those catwalks are definitely in play the next 3 days.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, says home plate umpire Mike Winters. And Judge is a strikeout victim.
I talked about Hunter Wood and his good numbers against right-handed batters, under a 200 batting average, and a big reason why The curveball slider combination, you see Aaron Judge tries to hold up. He can't. There's enough velocity on the fastball at about 94, 95. You have to respect it, and you're going to get caught in between on some of the off-speed pitches.
So 2 up and 2 down. That'll leave it to Didi Gregorius for the Yankees here in the first. He has kind of worn out the Rays this year, hitting .406 against Tampa Bay pitching. And he'll take the first pitch for a called strike. And to go along with that .406 batting average, 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in.
Well, we see Hunter Wood in this game starting. How long is he going to go? A relief pitcher starting the game.
Bouncing ball to first. Big hop. Knocked down. Bobbled. The throw to first is in time as Robertson backs up Bauer. And Didi is retired. That play will go 3-4-1. Bauer can't handle it, but Robertson does. No score for the Yankees here in the first. And it's presented by Lexus. Kevin Kiermaier back in the lineup. He was out with an injury. He'll lead it off. Matt Duffy having a good year. He's hit well against the Yankees this year. Jake Bowers will be at first base batting third. Ji-Man Choi, former Yankee, the cleanup hitter. He'll be the DH. Joey Wendell. He'll be in left field. Daniel Robertson, big day yesterday. He'll be at second. Malik Smith will be in right field. Willie Adames, the shortstop, back for the 3rd time this year with the Rays. He'll bat 8th. And Jesus Sucre, the catcher, will bat 9th.
Well, manager Kevin Cash sending that lineup out there against Luis Severino, #1 starter for the New York Yankees. And we'll look at his numbers. 14-2, 2.31 ERA. We'll look at our pitcher scouting report, which is always brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And he had a scoreless all-star inning in Washington, D.C., and this will be the first start of his second half. And you wonder, can his second half be as good as his first half with those 14 wins? And one thing we're going to pay attention to, the velocity. It was only down a tick his last time out against Cleveland, but he gave up 6 hits against 15 at-bats off of his fastball, so something to pay attention to tonight.
Severino has pitched well against the Rays in his career as Kiermaier steps in. And here's Severino's first pitch, and it is swung on and missed strike 1, 97 miles an hour.
You know, Kenny, when I talk about velocity down, he averages 97.7. It was down to 96.8. So obviously still bringing the heat.
Swing and a missed strike 2 for Kiermaier, who hasn't had much success in his career against Severino. 2 for 20 with 10 strikeouts. And he's in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Just off the corner, and it's 1-2.
So obviously velocity not an issue. Pitched that inning in Washington, D.C., and we've seen 98 already. Great 0-2 pitch just off the plate.
Ground ball foul off the bat of Kiermaier. Will be followed by Duffy and Bowers here in the first inning. Mentioned Kiermaier just back into the lineup tonight. Well, he had missed a lot of the season with a thumb injury, and then his foot started bothering him. He got a cortisone shot. Now back in the lineup. Foul back just to our left, and the count remains 1-2. And he says that foot had been bothering him. It comes from a foul ball off the top of his right foot earlier in the season. He took a cortisone shot, missed a few days, and now back in center field. Rays can use him out there. Tremendous defender. Fouls this one off. Still 1-2.
Well, you're right. Great defender. Nice left-handed bat. But the one knock on Kiermaier, he has been injury prone during his young career. You see he has that pad on that right ankle, right shin.
Ball is looped towards left center field. Coming on is Hicks. Coming on is Gardner, who makes the catch for the out. So Gardner makes a nice running catch. One out here in the top of the first. Time to check out the rest of the Yankees on defense. Brought to you by Geico. We saw Gardner in left, Hicks in center, Judge is in right tonight, and Duhart, Gregorius, Walker, and Bird round out the infield. Gary Sanchez doing the catching for Luis Severino. Here's Matt Duffy, who's having himself a very good season. In the top 10 in the league in batting average. And the third baseman takes one off the corner for ball one. Missed a couple of games recently with back spasms. Back in the lineup yesterday against the Marlins, in which a game in which the Rays won in dramatic style. There's a pitch in there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Duffy having such a good year, batting average well over 300. The Yankees in the infield playing him pretty much straight up, shading him the other way in the outfield.
Pitch is fouled off. Now Duffy's been very consistent this year. Hit .302 in April, .314 in May, and .340 in June. So he has maintained that top 10 status in the American League in batting. But right now, Severino has him down, a ball and 2 strikes. Fouls this one back.
Well, if you're Gary Sanchez tonight, obviously you're paying attention to what your starting pitcher has. In the first inning, we've seen good velocity, upper 90s, great location. The fastball up and in on Duffy. Good pitch, probably opens up the outside half.
Call, strike 3. Duffy caught looking. Well, we have a chance. Let's check out the game time weather presented by Bigelow to you. Take a look outside of Tropicana Field. Earlier today, there were some showers. Temperature 85 degrees, humidity up there at 60%. A wind just 2 miles per hour. Forecast partly cloudy, storms possibly later in the evening. And that's what happened last night. Actually, it was early this morning. There was some real thunderstorms passing through.
Yeah, those are big league thunderstorms, but 85 degrees, it's actually comfortable here in Tampa in July.
Here's Jake Bauers, the young first baseman, who is right now hitting on hard times, just 2 for his last 19. This ball is drilled to right field. Judge going back near the wall. This one's off the top of the wall. Bauers rounding first. He's on his way for second, and he's in with a 2-out double. This young man can hit for power. 22 of his 36 hits are for extra bases.
Well, the young player batting third in the lineup, and he does what he's supposed to do when you get a mistake from Severino. A fastball right down the middle. Hammers it to right center field, about 3/4 of the way up the wall. Good looking swing.
And he's a pretty good defender at first base. We saw that bobble in the first inning. That's usually an easy play for Bauers. The number 4 hitter is Ji-Man Choi, former Yankee. You've seen him in spring training. Had a cup of coffee with the Yankees a few years ago. The Rays got him from the Milwaukee organization, and he'll take a pitch a little bit high for ball 1. G-Man, since he's been here with the Rays, is 2 for 18. He was recalled on July 10th. But one of those 2 hits was the longest home run ever hit here since StatCast has been in vogue. That's what he did with the Yankees in 6 games. And drops in there for a strike, 1-1. He hit a 460-foot home run to straightaway center field over the top of the batting eye. Any way you want to look at it, it's a long way from home plate. Bauers leads at second. Choi swings and misses strike 2, 1-2, a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Severino 2-0 against the Rays this year. He beat them August 4th at Yankee Stadium. And he followed that by beating them again at Yankee Stadium on June 16th. As I said, 7-1 in his career against the Rays. Time is called. Last 5 starts against the Rays. Yep, he's 43 strikeouts. That ball got away from Sanchez. It looked like he got crossed up. Somebody's better cover home. Here comes Bowers, the throw to the plate, and he scores. It's 1-0 Rays, and somebody took their time getting after that ball. It looked like Sanchez got crossed up initially, and Bowers rounded third when Sanchez took his time going after the ball.
Well, Kenny, you're right. There's so much to talk about here. First of all, you can't get crossed up. I mean, they've had a couple of pitches to work with. Goes off his foot. See Sanchez trying to find it. Then he goes after. You wonder if Andujar maybe should have been a little more aggressive coming after it, but aggressive base running by Bowers. Able to come up with the first run, a play that should never happen. That's the easy part for Bowers there. Now he gets a little bit risky and aggressive, and the throw is going to be right off of his back. Aggressive base running pays off.
The count evens up now 3-2 on Ji-Man Choi.
You don't know who's responsible for the cross-up, Severino or Sanchez. And Duhar kind of laid back on it.
Ball is hit in the air down the left field line and foul. Looking at where Andujar is right now. Well, he was a little closer to third base than he is now. He's pointing. Get the ball. 1-0 Rays on a play that should not have happened.
Listen, I'm not saying it's Andujar's fault, but you wonder if he was maybe a little more aggressive coming towards the play.
Pitch is lined over short, and it's going to drop into left field for a base hit for Choi. Flash, you're right. Somebody should have made that play. Somebody.
And, you know, I'm confused. And a good at bat by Choi right here. Gets a slider, just blocks it off the other way. But that pitcher-catcher relationship where you go over signals before a game. Hey, runner on second base. This is the sequence we're going to use. And they had a couple of pitches there in that Choi at bat. They should have been on the same page.
So Choi's at first with 2 outs. The Rays have scored here. And a check swing by Joey Wendell. And he tried to check. Couldn't do so and goes around. Strike 1. Wendell had a 5-game hitting streak broken yesterday. He's kind of played all over the field for these Rays. Severino deals, and that's a little low, and it's a ball and a strike.
Some guys look hitterish when they get in the batter's box, though. That's what Wendell looks like to me. No batting gloves. Kind of really gets into his legs, a nice firm stance. And you mentioned playing all over in the field, but he brings this left-handed swing every night.
Tonight he's out in left field. Pulled foul on the ground. He's down a ball and 2 strikes. Only one other rookie in the American League has more hits than Joey Wendell, and he plays third base for the Yankees, Miguel Andujar. So Wendell having himself a representative first year in the major leagues. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and the Rays have finally retired here in the bottom of the first. But they pick up a run on 2 hits. Tampa Bay leads 1-0 at the end of 1 here in Florida. is the official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Which MLB starting pitcher do you think is the most likely to be dealt before the trading deadline? Jay Happ. The pitching market is barren this year, and Happ is one of the best options available, and he has postseason experience. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Camry Hybrid to keep the conversation going. Speaking of, yeah, they're having a conversation in the Yankee dugout. Gary Sanchez and Luis Severino. Looks like they're going to get a little heated here as Giancarlo Stanton takes a pitch outside for a ball. And this was moments ago in the Yankee dugout, and you can see neither one of them is happy with the outcome in the bottom half of the first inning. Brett Gardner trying to calm things down. Stanton swings and misses, strike one. Ball and a strike. Now, the last time Stanton was here, he had a 5-for-5 afternoon. It was a Sunday afternoon game that closed out that series. And that pitch is upstairs. He had 2 singles, a double, and a home run in that game against the Rays. There are the numbers on the season. That's high. 3-1 on Giancarlo Stanton, leading it off for the Yankees here in the second inning.
Kenny had talked in the top of the first. How long is Hunter Wood going to go? As you see the conversation with Didi Gregorius, now Gary Sanchez, everybody kind of pleading their case on what they think the signs and the sequence was. Obviously Severino had his idea, Sanchez had his opinion. You move on.
Stanton hits a high towering fly ball to center field. Kiermaier can't find it, and the ball falls in. Smith comes up with it and stands in the second with a 2-base hit. No, I'm not sure if that hit one of the rings up there, but Kiermaier looked like he had it, then he lost it.
Well, you get a great look at the backdrop, and welcome to Tropicana Field. Some things are going to happen here that you just don't see every day. Stanton gets a good pitch. He works underneath it, pops it straight up. He's thinking he's going to be 0 for 1 with an out. Kiermaier can't pick it up. Smith in right field can't make the play, and it'd be a nice double for Giancarlo Stanton.
So Stanton is now 6 for his last 6 in this building. I guess you can call that a Tropicana Field double.
Surprising. Kiermaier, obviously a great defender, used to playing here every day. That's something you see visiting teams do, not the home club.
Here's Hicks, and he'll take a pitch outside. Good stop by Sucre to come up with it. So the Yankees have their first hit as Stanton stands at second base for Hicks, who's trying to get it going again. We've seen him hot. Right now he's kind of chilly. 3 for his last 26. The Yankees are down 1-0. If you're just joining us, top of the second inning here at Tropicana Field, opening game of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Rays. That pitch is outside again. It's 2-0 on Hicks.
The Yankees have to take advantage here. Obviously have gotten a gift, and you see Aaron Hicks the last 33 games. And as Kenny was talking about, it's up and down. A very streaky hitter. In a great situation here, 2-0, runner in scoring position.
Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Hunter Wood, as I said, making his second start of the year. He's one of those openers that the Rays have put together this year. We've seen numerous times where a reliever will start a game and 1 or 2 innings max.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
It's ball 4. A 4-pitch walk for Aaron Hicks, and the Yankees have 2 on with nobody out here in the second.
We've seen Kevin Cash employ some relievers to start the game to get through the top 5 in a lineup and then turn it over to a young starting pitcher, and he can get going for multiple innings. I think tonight is more of a bullpen game.
Yeah.
Get as much out of Hunter Wood as you can, and maybe Andrees will follow him.
Here's Kyle Snyder. Is their record in the openers. The game started by pitchers who are normally relievers, and It's kind of the way their season is going. They are one game over 500, 50-49.
And you have to give them credit for that, right? I don't think anybody expected them to be over 500, but they have to do things a little bit differently here. Now, my old school thinking hates the idea of a relief pitcher starting and then turning it over to a young starting pitcher. But obviously the numbers back up what they've done here in Tampa Bay.
So pitching coach Kyle Snyder headed back to the dugout. Gary Sanchez will come to the plate. The Yankees have had their problems against the Rays with runners in scoring position. The last 4 games all won by the Rays, by the way. The Yankees are just 4 for 34 with runners in scoring position. That works out to a 118 batting average. Now here we go. Runner in scoring position with Stanton at second. Hicks is at first with nobody out for Sanchez. Pitch is fouled back to the right. Strike 1. Sanchez, of course, missed some time out with a groin injury. In fact, he was injured here the last time the Yankees were here, running to first base. Just recently returned to the lineup. While he was on rehab, he had 12 at-bats in his rehab stint. Had 2 hits. Both those hits were home runs. That's low, and it's a ball and a strike.
Sanchez has struggled with the breaking ball down and away, has been expanding the strike zone, and one of the things we've heard about him as a hitter from the minor leagues to his impact in the big leagues, pitch recognition. And he's going through one of those stretches this year, not recognizing the spin on the breaking ball.
In the dirt, good stop by Sucre, who has a reputation as a good defensive catcher.
One of the ways you can negate the breaking ball down and away, and you see a nice play by Sucre, able to get a glove on it, is to put yourself in fastball counts, which Gary Sanchez is in right now. 2-1. Hunt the fastball. If you get one, make sure you can do some damage. We'll see if they give in with the fastball. They go breaking ball away.
There were multiple signs there, Flash. You got them figured out already?
I'm guessing, right? If I'm Sanchez right now, I'm saying I eliminate breaking ball, look for the fastball.
There's a fastball, and it's swung on and missed, and the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's the pitch right there. Fastball pretty much middle, maybe up a little bit. Good pitch to do some damage. And swings right underneath it. Now all of a sudden you start thinking a little bit. Breaking ball away. They could go fastball in. I'm struggling. The first inning didn't go the way I wanted it to. Got to get a big hit.
Trying to help my pitcher out.
Yep.
The runners lead. 2-2 pitch is low, and the count is full at 3-2. Yankees trying to come back on the Rays and scored a run in the bottom of the first inning. On deck is Greg Bird. Well, he's already had a swing and a miss and a fastball. You think that gives Wood confidence to throw another one?
Yeah, we'll see. Wouldn't be surprised to see a 3-2 breaker.
Runners don't go. The 3-2 pitch is hit high in the air to center field. Let's see if somebody can find this one. Looks like the second baseman Robertson is going to make the play for the out. So Sanchez pops out to second, and there's one down.
A good pitch by Hunter Wood. It was a little cutter at 88, just enough off of the fastball. You see Sanchez, that front hip is going to leave a little early off the end of the bat, and the frustration continues.
So 1 out. Runners stay at first and second to bring up Greg Bird, who recently has been swinging a hot bat. 14 runs batted in his last 9 games, and Sucre's out there visiting Mr. Wood. Now, we told you Wood was an opener one other time this year, and that was against the Tigers, and he threw 38 pitches in that outing. He's up to 28 already. Here's Bird. Batting average been coming up. RBI total as well. 8 for his last 14. And he'll take a call strike over the outside corner. Yankees have yet to win a game here at Tropicana Field. They are 5-4 against the Rays this year. Off-speed pitch and a swing and a miss.
A 12-6 curveball. So he goes away a little bit from Greg Bird. Good pitch.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. Another off-speed pitch, and Bird is struck out. So after two men get on, the next two Yankees go down.
I mean, located perfectly down in the strike zone, but has enough off speed on it. It just never gets there. Greg Bird trying to wait as long as he can. Big strikeout.
Number 8 hitter Miguel Andujar will step in. Average up to 287. He's riding a pretty good hot streak. 371 over his last 10 games. Decent speed on the bases with Stanton and Hicks. Swing and a miss. Strike one. $13 for 35. And as we all know, he's been double trouble all year. Check swing, but that's in there for a called strike. 0-2.
Hunter Wood has it going on right now. We saw that big curveball to Bird. We've seen a couple of sliders to Gary Sanchez and Andujar, and then the over-the-top fastball. You can't locate much better than that down and away at 95. He's completely in the driver's seat now. Can elevate a fastball, can bounce a breaking ball. A lot of options.
Curveball is lined over second into center field. It's going to be a base hit. Stanton will score. Hicks is on his way to third, and Andujar has tied the ball game with a two-strike single.
Well, just talking about Hunter Wood and how good he has been. Well, he makes a big-time mistake on an 0-2 count, and to a hitter like Andujar, he's going to take advantage of that. Remember, first pitch slider, next pitch fastball, and he comes back with the curveball, and it just sits middle of the plate. A nice mistake, and Andujar, who has the right approach, takes advantage of it. Stanton scores easily. A big two-out knock for Andujar.
And you see the reaction by Wood on the mound. Got to back up a base. Number 9 hitter Neil Walker will step in, and he'll take the first pitch low and inside for ball one. Walker's got a 3-game hitting streak going. He's trying to get over that 200 mark. Just got to have himself a multi-hit game. He's been sitting like 197, 198 for the last little while here. That will even up the count at a ball and a strike.
I was just thinking, Kenny, you don't know what that feels like, hitting 198, trying to get to 200.
Oh, contraire, Flash. I was hitting 186 on June 2nd one year.
Really?
Yeah.
1 year. I did it pretty much every year. Boy, the personality picks up when you see a 201 instead of 197. A big difference.
Ground ball towards the middle. It's going to be Adames, the shortstop, who is positioned perfectly. He gets Walker, but the Yankees tie up the ball game. Miguel Andujar with a big hit here in the second. in baseball because your stadium should be where you make it. This was yesterday afternoon with 2 outs in the 9th inning. The Rays get a walk-off grand slam, a pinch hit grand slam by Daniel Robertson to win the ball game against the Marlins, and the Rays avoid being swept in that 3-game series. That is the only pinch hit grand slam in Rays history. And here's Daniel Robertson to lead it off here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 5th player to do it in American League history. I was there for one as Robertson swings and misses and the bat flies into the Yankee dugout. Well, actually in the camera well, looks like everybody's okay. Looks like all the equipment is okay as well. I was there for one of those walk-off grand slam splashes. And take another look. Oh, it's off the bench and then into the camera well. Rich is all right. Okay. There he is.
Need to give Rich a little lookout.
Yeah. And Terry Crowley back in 1982 hit one of those. His pitch is fouled off and the count is 0-2 on Robertson. Pinch hit, walk off. His nickname was the King of Swing, and he came up in the Terry Crowley.
King of Swing was one of my hitting instructors in the minor leagues with the Boston Red Sox.
He was a tremendous pinch hitter. Tremendous. The 0-2 pitch is outside for a ball. In fact, you know, we'd be losing and he could sense that he was going to get a chance to pinch hit. He'd come sit by you on the bench and he'd say what does he have tonight? And I said, well, whatever it is, must be pretty good because we're not winning. Here's the pitch, and that's low, 2-2.
But just think about that now. He wouldn't be able to do that in today's game, right? With all the relief pitchers that come in, you know, you'd face a starter for 3 at bats. He'd get a pinch hit off of that guy. Those days are gone.
Yeah, they are. He'd have to do his homework on relievers.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch is fouled back to the screen. Robertson leading off. We mentioned yesterday he was the big hitting hero. Here's Matt Andreas, and looks like he's going to be next.
Well, Robertson making Severino work a little bit here. The pitch count already at 30. He'd love to have a quick 2nd inning.
Pitch is fouled off once again. You know, I read online this morning that Robertson thought if he got a chance that he was going to hit a home run. I think he was talking to the assistant hitting coach, and he mentioned, if I get a chance in this game, I'm going to go deep. And sure enough, called the shot. He didn't do it while he was at bat. He didn't point or anything like that, but he talked about it prior to going up there to hit. Severino deals, and it's ground ball towards the middle. Gregorius can't get to it. It's on into center field for a base hit. So Robertson with a leadoff single here in the 2nd inning. Let's take a look at this. A look back. Tropicana Field. Days gone by. John Flaherty. LaTroy Hawkins gives it up. Flash with a walk-off.
LaTroy Hawkins, known for first pitch fastballs. Don't try to sneak that by me, Ken.
It was the first pitch?
First pitch heater.
Everybody go home. Reach for the car keys. Here's Malek Smith, the right fielder. Robertson at first. Severino's given up 3 hits here. And the first pitch is poured in there for a call strike. Do you remember the score, final score of that game?
I do not.
No?
Nope.
Everything was a blur after the ball hit the seats.
Those 5 years were a blur.
Oh, man. Next pitch to Smith is fouled off, and Severino jumps way ahead on the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Smith likes hitting in this ballpark. He's at 350 at home. Top marks in the league. And he's having himself a good July. Now, the last time we were here, Smith was working on a 2 for 21. He wasn't hitting anywhere. But lately, he's 16 for 37. So 1 month later, he's been hot. Pitches upstairs for a ball. In fact, he had that bat in that 9th inning yesterday. It was about a 13 pitch at bat. Kept fouling off pitches, and Bearclaw, the Marlins reliever, he threw 40 pitches in the bottom of the 9th inning. finally gave up the slam. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Smith is down. Severino picks up his 3rd strikeout.
Severino going to the changeup, a nice weapon against a left-handed hitting Smith. A couple of changeups in this at bat, and the last one a good one. Great movement away.
Now, by the way, the next strikeout for Severino will be the 500th of his career as Willy Adames steps in. Adames playing shortstop. Been up and down to Durham. This is his 3rd time with the Rays this year as Robertson gets back. Adenis Echeverria has a little rib cage pull. So Adames getting some playing time, hitting at 209. Severino deals, and that's in there for a strike. You saw the number. Adames has 3 home runs in his career. Chris Sale, Sonny Gray, and Jacob deGrom. Some brand names. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that's upstairs. Ball and a strike. Adames batting 8th. Sucre. Jesus Sucre, the 9th hitter, is on deck. Another throw to first. A check on Mr. Robertson. Adames, the Rays feel, is going to be their shortstop of the future. Swing and a miss. Waved and didn't get it. The Rays team scouting report brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture.
We took a look at the Rays team scouting report, and Kevin Cash's entire staff really deserves some credit. His club 50-49, and they've done it with pitching prowess again. 3.770 ERA, that's 4th in the league. And the speed game has shown up again. 62 stolen bases for Tampa.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's number 500. Number 500 for Adames. It should say for Severino, as Adames becomes number 500.
We'll take a look at the last pitch, and it's a slider that kind of rolls up. So Severino picks up the strikeout, but you don't want to live there. Kind of gets around that slider, doesn't get that good break out in front, but gets away with it.
He becomes the 3rd Yankee pitcher to record 500 strikeouts before turning 25 years old. The other 2, Al Downing and Lefty Gomez. A pair of left-handers. Pitches fouled back by Sucre. Always heard that first 500 strikeouts were the toughest. Sucre with the injury to Wilson Ramos, who's fighting a hamstring injury. Sucre takes over as the #1 catcher. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ramos actually made the All-Star team, but couldn't play in the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, you feel bad for him not being able to play in the game. And also there were rumors that he might get moved at the deadline. Now he's not going to be back until the month of August, so we'll see how that all plays out.
The Rays called up Adam Moore to be the backup catcher to Sucre. Ground ball towards 3rd. And Duhar over the bird. That's going to do it. The Rays pick up a hit, but nothing else here in a second. At the end of 2, we've got a 1-1 game.
If he's going to make the call to the bullpen, which is brought to you by Planet Fitness. It'll be Matt Andriese on for the Rays. Hunter Wood pitched 2 innings, gave up 1 run. You see the numbers for Andriese on the season. His 27th game. He has 4 starts, 2 and 4 with a 4.34 ERA. He'll face the top of the lineup for the New York Yankees. Brett Gardner, Aaron Judge, and Didi Gregorius.
Just get the feeling those 4 starts were all opening. He was an opener.
The one thing about Andriese, he can give up some home runs, 7 home runs in 56 innings as he misses with a breaking ball first pitch. Gave up 16 home runs in 86 innings last year.
If I remember correctly, he's got a pretty good changeup. Sometimes those are not located well and they have a tendency to disappear.
You wonder what Andriese is thinking about this whole situation with relievers starting, and he's a starting pitcher, right? And he only, what, 4 starts already, coming out of the bullpen, arbitration eligible. You wonder how the numbers are going to look in the offseason.
That's a good point, because I saw something today online about the Players Association. They're kind of worried how this is going to break down as far as when you try and take your numbers into the front office to get a raise. How are they going to say, well, you started 4 games, but you only lasted 4 innings?
Yeah, and obviously the Rays aren't concerned about that,
No.
but the Players Union and Tony Clark, and want to put their players in the best possible position.
It should be interesting to see how it does play out.
You know, a game like this where obviously Andriese comes in after Hunter Wood, he's a somewhat of a veteran pitcher. You don't worry so much about him, but how about some of the young starters that you're not giving them the opportunity to get through a lineup early? As Gardner, routine ground ball to second base, 1 down. You don't give a young starter the opportunity to get through a lineup and the best hitters in the lineup. It's almost like you're sending a negative message to them.
Yeah, that's true, and I wonder if this is a 1-year thing, or is this going to last more than 1 year? Or are they going to go back to the more conventional style? That, who knows?
Obviously Chris Archer, he gets his start. Blake Snell, he's now hurt, but he was getting his start.
And we should mention he was supposed to start tomorrow, but he's come up with the shoulder fatigue. There they are. There's Archer, who struck out 13 yesterday against the Marlins, didn't get a decision.
Big swing and a miss from Aaron Judge.
And Blake Snell is going to miss at least 1 start. The all-star Blake Snell. Shoulder fatigue is what they're calling it.
Also ex-Yankee Nate Eovaldi getting his start, his turn in the rotation, so they do use the bullpen in the 2 other spots.
Of course, Chris Archer is he's fallen into that category of trade rumors.
A team-friendly contract, 3 more years of control. Well, tonight's injury report is brought to you by Montefiore. Doing more, and it'll be Blake Snell. And a great first half, 12 and 5, 2.27 ERA, was the all-star. As Kenny told you, some left shoulder fatigue.
And the thing about those 5 losses, 2 of them are to the Yankees.
Come a long way. A young left-handed pitcher had control problems early in his career, figured it out in the first half.
Kind of reminds you what happened with Severino, was sent back to the minor leagues.
1-2 to Judge. Fouls off a changeup. Rays defense pretty much straight up against Aaron Judge. Check out his spray chart, brought to you by StatCast AI. Powered by AWS. The ground balls to shortstop for Aaron Judge. Will go the other way occasionally. So Last 100 batted balls, 200 feet or less.
That's not what he's really trying to do.
Here's the 1-2. Brooks underneath that, skies it to right center field. Smith coming in, making the call. 2 down.
You saw the infielders pointing towards the ball. There was Robertson trying to help the outfielders out. You know, I thought it was during the day games where you had problems with the fly balls because the translucent roof and with the sunshine, ball kind of blends in. We've seen that before here too.
2 down, bring up Didi Gregorius. Hit a ground ball his first at bat. Batting average at .267. Kenny, I remember back in the day when the Rays, or Devil Rays at that time, came into existence, they taught all of the outfielders never take your eye off the ball. Right, so you would know better than me. You wouldn't run to a spot expecting to where it would be. Kept your eye on the ball the whole time, gave you a better chance. Dries quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Didi was just getting set. It looked like Andrees is ready to deliver. Didi quickly called time.
Comes the 0-2. Fastball up in the zone right by Didi Gregorius. So a quick 1-2-3 from Matt Andrees. We're all tied at 1. We'll come back for the bottom of the 3rd. One of the hottest collectibles of the season. It's CC Sabathia bobblehead night, the 3rd in the 2018 collectible series presented by AT&T. For the first 18,000 guests in attendance. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window. Yankees Clubhouse shops or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Little CC has made his rounds this year. He was out by the Rays tank in right center field earlier.
He's been to a lot of cities.
The real CC Sabathia will pitch on CC bobblehead night.
Little CC was in Cleveland. He was in Toronto. And he was in Baltimore, the Inner Harbor. Now here by the Rays tank. I wonder if he gets his own room on the road.
Did he go visit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland? I wonder. Good breaking ball from Severino, quickly ahead in the count, 1-2. The Kiermaier, Matt Duffy, and Jake Bowers, bottom of the 3rd. A big swing and a miss. That 98-mile-an-hour fastball overpowers Kiermaier. 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, he's now 2 for 22 in his career against Severino. You know, some pitchers are just your worst nightmare. Couldn't get on top of that fastball. Kind of ties him up and in. And making that well-known walk back to the dugout. Severino working on 1,000 strikeouts now.
Well on his way. One down will bring up Matt Duffy. Struck out his first at bat. It's this ball to right field. Aaron Judge coming in, makes the play. 2 down.
Duffy's got a short, quick stroke. I think that helps him make solid contact. That's one reason why he's having a good year. There was talk about him making the All-Star team.
Two down, bring up Jake Bauers. He doubled in the first and scored that run with the cross up between Sanchez and Severino. A nice quick third inning would be just what the doctor ordered for Severino. Pitch count is up a little bit.
By the way, that play was scored a pass ball, so he scored from second on a pass ball.
Good breaking ball for strike 2. He's playing Bauer to pull in the infield, but a swing and a miss. So Severino, a dominating bottom of the 3rd inning. 3 up, 3 down. We're all tied at 1. Delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone. Top of the 4th inning at Tropicana Field. Giancarlo Stanton takes a breaking ball for strike 1 on our Audi scoreboard. We're all tied at 1. Stanton drills his ball to center field. That's going to be his 2nd base hit of the ball game. We remember his first at bat popped up and had a double, and Kiermaier couldn't pick it up. So Stanton 2 for 2.
And right away with his 2 for 2. He is 7 for his last 7 here in this building. There's some hitters didn't like playing indoors. I heard Paul O'Neill mentioned that several times. He said too dark. He didn't like hitting indoor stadiums.
Well, I remember Paul used to complain coming in Tropicana Field that he couldn't pick up the spin on a breaking ball. It took him a few days before he was able to pick up the pitch. Bring up Aaron Hicks, who walked his first at bat. He's first pitch swinging.
I remember I liked hitting indoors. Basically, the only place we had was the Kingdome.
Oh, you love that place.
Oh, man, but you know, well, the pitchers weren't that good either. They were more or less an expansion team in those days, the Mariners. It's a great hitting ballpark.
I'm reminded every time the Yankees come into Tropicana Field, there, you know, a lot of Yankee fans obviously travel, and some decent crowds here in the Trop. When I was a player for the Devil Rays, I always used to get asked, does it bother you that all these Yankee fans and all these Red Sox fans come in? And it didn't bother me, because it gave you some atmosphere in the Trop, right? I mean, we were used to playing in front of 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 people. The Yankees and the Red Sox come in, you'd get about 20,000 and give you a little life. As Aaron Hicks swings at a changeup for strike 3, the throw down, tries to get Stanton.
Second strikeout for Andrees. And Flash called him. Good changeup, a little movement on it as well. Hicks over the top is struck out. Well, right now the Rays are averaging about 14,500 per game, just a little over 14,500. And there's a lot of talk about well, actually they have artist rendition of their new ballpark, which would be over on the Tampa side in Ybor City.
I heard today the budget for that about $850 million.
And there's always going to be cost overruns, as we know. I think the whole thing is it looks beautiful, but you got to figure out a way how to pay for it.
Well, Kenny, this conversation has been going on in this market for 20 years since the first pitch was thrown in Devil Ray history. Can this market support this franchise in St. Pete, or do you have to move it over to the Tampa side where maybe you'd get some better crowds? Everybody has their own opinion on it.
I think another reason why, you know, a lot of Yankee fans, a lot of retirees, they're down here.
Sure.
Former New Yorkers.
Sanchez 0 for 1. He popped up his first at bat.
Now, when Greg Bird returned to the Yankee lineup, it took him a little while to get going. The same thing might apply to Sanchez, but well, the Yankees could really use his bat. They could have used it when he came up in the second inning. They did score, but they were 2 on and nobody out at the time.
Ground ball right back up the middle. Robertson's going to make the play. Step on second, over to first. It's going to be a double play by Gary Sanchez to end the top of the 4th. We're all tied at 1.
0 for 2 today, and guys, you documented his struggles so far offensively this season. I spoke with Aaron Boone about Sanchez earlier, and he told me that Marcus Thames and Sanchez identified a small mechanical issue, so he's made some slight adjustments there. But Boone went on to say his biggest thing that he has said to Sanchez is don't go out there worried about chasing results. Sometimes when you're pressing, you're chasing hits. Instead, go out there and try to have consistent at-bats, good at-bats, and don't worry about what the average says on the scoreboard. If you go out there and have consistent at-bats, the numbers at the end of the year will even out. Boone seems to think he is not far off, but tonight, again, not a great start for Sanchez offensively.
Well, thank you very much, Meredith. I guess a lot easier said than done, right, Kenny?
Yeah.
You want to get back to those numbers that you're used to.
I think one thing you got to realize when you're hitting 188 or whatever you are, this is a long haul. It's not going to come overnight. You're not going to get this done in 2 weeks.
See, we're all tied up on our Audi scoreboard. Severino quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. Severino in the bottom of the third had a 9-pitch at bat, or 9-pitch inning. Get that pitch count under control. Ooh, the fastball just misses. You see Severino turning around like that pitch, didn't get the call.
We get another look. Look good enough to me. 98 at the knees on the corner.
Comes a 2-2. I gave that scanner report in the first inning on Severino. The fastball velocity his last outing down just a tick. I don't think we have to worry about that, and pumping 98 tonight.
Sometimes it can be mechanical, like your mechanics are just off and you just don't have your rhythm, and all of a sudden you're not blowing it up there like you usually do.
Now we're going to look at our fast pitch speed analytics, which is sponsored by Fios by Verizon. 98 miles an hour.
That's not bad.
Another fastball hit hard right back up the middle. It's a nice base hit for Choi. He's 2 for 2.
99 miles an hour, but I bet your location wasn't where that other pitch had been. Yeah, it looked like it was more towards the middle, and Choi gets himself his second hit of the night. Yeah, that was kind of middle, up a little.
Bring up Joey Wendell, struck out in the first.
Flash, you were mentioning Kevin Cash, the Rays manager, the youngest manager in the major leagues.
He deserves some credit. Their entire coaching staff, front office. I mean, to be 1 game over 500 in this division, a young club, they've gotten the most out of their ball club in the first half. Charlie Montoyo, the bench coach.
Cash, a native of Tampa.
There goes Choi, fouled off by Wendell.
So Cash trying to get something going here by having the runner on the move. Cash from the Tampa area, played in the Little League World Series, the College World Series, and the Major League World Series with the Red Sox once, and once with the Yankees.
Kevin Cash kind of taking it back old school when the Rays used to run a lot, the Carl Crawford days. They have 62 stolen bases. It's 4th in the league, so the running game is a part of their attack. Nice slider by Severino, dots the outside corner, first out here in the 4th.
Well, Mr. Wendell turns, heads back to the dugout. Flash called it. Backdoor slider on the corner for call strike 3. That's 7 strikeouts. Another look at it. Sanchez might have helped it a little bit.
One down to bring up Daniel Robertson. He had a base hit in the second inning. Kenny already told you about that pinch hit grand slam to end yesterday's ball game. Big swing and a miss at a good fastball. Saw Choi running before. Does not have a stolen base yet.
You mentioned Carl Crawford in the steals. They kind of bring that back. You said 62 they have now. Carl used to do that by himself.
Yeah. I was still here as a player when Carl Crawford came up to the big leagues. Josh Hamilton was a big prospect, and Rocco Baldelli, who's on the staff here for the Rays. Those three were supposed to be the future. Carl Crawford obviously went on to have a nice career. Rocco Baldelli battling some injuries, and Josh Hamilton, his issues have been chronicled.
Crawford went from here, signed with the Red Sox, and then went to the Dodgers.
Ball hit hard the other way, just out of the reach of Neil Walker. Base hit into right field. Choi will stop at second. First and second, one down here in the bottom of the fourth for the Rays.
Robertson's hit two balls pretty well. Got the pitch out over the plate. This ball kind of echoed once it hit the bat. It looked like it might not have even been a strike, but it was up and out over the plate. He goes with it nicely. Watch Neil Walker elevate. Not quite enough. I got a piece of it, but couldn't flag it down.
Robertson knew what he was talking about yesterday, Kenny, right? When he said he was feeling good.
I wonder what he called tonight.
One down, bring up Malik Smith. He struck out in the second inning. A couple of good changeups from Severino against Smith in that at bat. Good block by Sanchez.
Now, another thing about this Rays team, they've used 17 rookies this year. That's a tough chore for any manager.
Well, speed is a big part of Smith's game. 17 stolen bases already this year. Looks underneath this one. Fly ball to Aaron Hicks in center field. Be an easy play for him. Two down.
Severino's made 20 starts this year, and the Yankees have won 18 of them. That is what a stopper is supposed to. Even when he didn't get the win himself, the Yankees were able to win 4 more of those games.
Two down, bring up Willie Adames. Struck out his first at bat. 99 down in the zone for strike one.
I bet you that one kind of sounded good as it went by. Didn't see much of it. Only a glimpse.
Always pay attention to that first start after the All-Star break for a pitcher who pitches in the All-Star game, because I can only imagine the adrenaline in that game, right? It was only an inning.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it took a lot out of Severino. Now he comes back, and so far so good. Velocity is good. The changeup's been right where it needs to be, and the slider maybe not quite as dominating as we've seen early on this year.
Had 2 strikeouts in that one inning, the All-Star game.
Out of Adames 0-2 right here. Fly ball center field. Aaron Hicks cruising back right in front of the warning track. Be an easy play. So the Rays threatening the bottom of the fourth, not able to cash in. We're all tied at 1. We'll be back for the 5th.
Yankees 5 games back of the Red Sox, as Bob mentioned. They're red hot. Then the Rays, the Blue Jays, and the Baltimore Orioles, 41.5 games out. Bottom third of the order for the Yankees here in the top half of the 5th inning. Manfred still in there, going into his 3rd inning of work. Bird was a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning. And he lines one in the right field for a base hit. Smith is getting over there to cut it off. Bird takes a turn at first, a big turn at that, and will hold on.
Greg Bird, aggressive first pitch swinging. You think back to his first at bat against Hunter Wood, saw a couple of good 12-6 breaking balls. He doesn't waste any time against Andrees. Just gets that first pitch fastball, hammers it into right field.
Well, the Yankees had the potential go-ahead run on base. Bird with a leadoff single here in the 5th and bring up Miguel Andujar, who picked up his 41st run batted in the 2nd inning with a 2-out single on an 0-2 pitch that tied the ball game. Average up to 289. Knocking on the door of 290. Andrees deals, big swing, and it's fouled back to the screen. Strike 1. We mentioned Andujar with the way he likes those 2 base hits. 29 doubles. Next one will be number 30. That's how the Rays line up in the infield. Right side is open.
Kenny, you talk about those doubles, and if you're the Yankees, you envision what they're going to turn into in a year or 2 or 3.
Home runs.
Yeah, you always look at those young hitters who drive the gaps and hit a lot of doubles early in their career. Usually that turns into home runs later on. 43 extra base hits this season, leads all major league rookies.
And one of the reasons why they know the league better, they know what to expect, how to set themselves up for the power swings. Big swing, foul to the plate, 1-2 on Andujar. The same sort of thing happened with Manny Machado in Baltimore. He had 51 doubles his first full season, and the doubles have gone down over the years, but the home run numbers have gone up. And eventually they got to the point where the Orioles might have felt he was going to be too expensive to hold on to, and as we all know, recently he was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers for 5 prospects. And Andujar will step out, readjust the batting gloves. Now everybody seems to be ready. Swing and a miss, and Andujar is a strikeout victim. Andrees with his 3rd strikeout of the game.
Andrees with a little something extra here at 93 and just elevates it just a little bit. Does a good job of showing that changeup, slowing you down, and elevating the fastball with something on it.
Number 9 hitter will step in for the Yankees, Neil Walker. 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Off-speed pitch drops in there for a strike.
Home plate umpire Mike Winters is showing everybody he will expand on the outside part of the plate, away from the lefties, in on the righties. A couple of breaking balls that have come around the strike zone. Mike Winters have called a strike.
As a catcher, would that make you sit out there a little bit?
Just go a little bit more.
You
found one side of the plate you can try to exploit. Sucre setting up away.
There's another one in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. You know, with the way the Rays have been using these openers, they have not thrown a complete game since May 14, 2016. That's the longest streak in American League history. So by using these openers, it's going to help prolong that streak. Swing and a miss. 4 strikeouts now for Andrees as Walker heads back to the dugout.
Kenny, you talk about complete games or lack thereof here in Tampa Bay. And we were just in Baltimore to take another look at that fastball right by Neil Walker. And everybody's talking about Jim Palmer and some of his accomplishments. I mean, it was a complete game waiting to happen every time he went out on the mound.
First year I was there, he had 25 of them. But he also threw 324 innings.
Yeah, those days are over.
No, it's not going to happen. It's getting to the point where 150 is good from a starter. Here's Gardner, who's grounded out to the right side twice, once the first, once the second, trying to keep this inning going. With Bird at first with a leadoff single, he hasn't moved as the next two Yankees have struck out. Off speed, misses, ball one.
Well, this game is really playing out the way the Rays have done it all year. I asked some people around Tampa Bay, how are they winning 50 games? They're a game above 500. They said good pitching, good defense, and they kind of hang around, hang around, hang around. And sometimes you find a way to win a game late.
Check swing, right back to Andrees. He bobbles, recovers, throws in time. Yankees retired here in the fifth inning. Leadoff single goes for none for the Yankees on to the bottom of the fifth in a 1-1 game. Checking without curveballs. Member FDIC. And by your local, by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on all models. On to the bottom of the fifth, the number 9 hitter, Jesus Sucre, will lead it off as the sun sets over the Gulf. Sucre grounded out to Andujar at third, and he'll take the first pitch from Severino here in the bottom of the fifth for a call strike on our GMC scoreboard. It's a 1-1 game. The Rays scoring in the first, the Yankees answering with their run in the top of the second. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on Sucre.
There's that good slider from Severino. We hadn't seen that early in the game.
Looks like he's got a pretty good rhythm going here.
Starting to pick it up here in the fifth.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 Sucre. 3 pitches, he's gone.
Well, we'll take a look at Luis Severino and what he has done tonight for the New York Yankees, and it has been a pretty solid start. Fastball dots the outside corner. The good slider down and in. The changeup on Smith. He loved the action down and away. Slider, not the greatest pitch, gets away with it. Another swing and a miss from Kiermaier. Fastball right by you, and another backdoor slider.
8 strikeouts, back to the top of the order, and Kevin Kiermaier takes a pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Kiermaier's flied to left and struck out. Yankees 18-2 in games started by Severino. Best team record for any starter in Major League Baseball. Kiermaier ground ball towards the middle, and by Walker into center field for a base hit. So the speedy Kevin Kiermaier is aboard. And He picks up a hit, is now 1 for 3.
Well, a few things you know when you come to the Trop to play. You're going to battle the catwalks and the dome, but the infield and the playing surface is always fast. A guy like Kiermaier, you can hit the ball on the ground. You are going to get some base hits that are going to sneak through the infield because of the turf and how quick it plays.
So with 1 out, there's 1 on. That'll bring up Duffy, who was caught looking and also flying out to right field to Judge. Former San Francisco Giant. Pitch is foul back.
Well, we're going to look at the Jeep hitter scouting report on Matt Duffy and throw some numbers out at you. .314 batting average. That was coming into this game. 6th in the American League, and that .330 average against right-handed pitching. 3rd in the American League. And I guess the only downside, Kenny, 4 home runs, 27 RBIs for a third baseman. Usually a power position. Duffy, the high average, not a whole lot of power.
Ball down the right field line. Twisting foul just beyond the Rays bullpen.
.330 batting average against right-handed pitching. That's getting it done.
Yeah. Kind of a reverse split for a hitter. Usually the right-handed hitters, as we've seen with Giancarlo Stanton, they wear out the lefties and hold their own against the righties.
But I think we've seen from his approach why he hits right-handers so well. Middle of the field the other way, even spraying that breaking ball just foul down the right field line, gives himself a chance.
Kiermaier, very good speed at first. Has stolen 6 out of 7 this year. You can see he's got that oven mitt on the right hand. He actually injured a thumb earlier this year. He's not going. The pitch is low, knocked down by Sanchez. Ball at 2 strikes on Duffy. Severino with 8 strikeouts. If you're just joining us, his 4th strikeout tonight was the 500th of his career. Ground ball off of Severino, and the ball's going to go into short left field. Kiermaier turns at second, heads for third, and the Rays will have runners at first and third with 1 out. I have a feeling if that ball gets through the middle, Gregorius is standing there.
That's the kind of year it's been for Matt Duffy, and a good 2-strike hitter. Doesn't try to do too much. Is right back up the middle off of Severino. Kiermaier, the play is right in front of him. He doesn't need a third base coach, able to get to third easily.
For Duffy, that was his 100th hit of the year, and 79 of them have been singles. You talked about third base being a power position. So 1 out, first and third for the Rays, and Jake Bauers, the first baseman, who has doubled and scored, heads up base running, and also has struck out. So the Rays are threatening here in the bottom of the 5th inning. In the dirt, good stop by Sanchez. Runners hold.
Well, you're right, Kenny, and it was a changeup, and a lot of times catchers will expect that pitch to be over here. You can see Severino yanks it down and in, and a nice play by Sanchez to get there, keep it in front, keep the runners where they are.
That's in there for a call strike. Went to the slider. 1-1. The Rays have touched Severino up for 7 hits. 6 singles and a double. Pretty good speed on the bases. Kiermaier at third, Duffy at first. Looking for a double play ball to get out of this inning.
If you're Severino and Sanchez, you have to figure out how to get that double play ball. The changeup down and away would work. The fastball in off the plate might work.
This ball's hit high in the air to right field. Judge going back, looking up. This one's gone. Jake Bauers, a 3-run homer, and the Rays lead 4-1. For Bauers, home run number 6 on the year.
Well, they talked about if you're looking for a double play ball, the changeup down and away and the fastball in off the plate could get you the ground ball. The slider will be a pitch you might get a swing and a miss on. Well, maybe Severino would try to go to something else and then try to finish him with a slider. He tried to do it there and just spun middle of the plate. 3-run home run.
11th home run of the year that Severino has allowed as G-Man Choi steps in. He'll take a pitch for a call strike.
I mentioned the slider early on has been kind of hot and cold, and that was a bad one. Spun middle up, and it speeds up any left-hander's bat.
And that pitch is a ball, 1-1. Last time we were here, Jake Bauers hit a walk-off home run while chasing Shreve.
Well, the Rays love that left-handed swing. Plenty of pop.
His ball is popped up. Let's see if it's in fair territory for Andujar. It is. He puts it away, and that's out number 2. Well, G-Man Choi retired for the first time tonight. He's now 2 for 3. And we'll bring up the left fielder, Joey Wendell.
And another look from the side. The approach is so simple, not a whole lot of movement. The ball just jumps off his bat.
Yeah, that was a quick swing. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Didi behind the back, straightens, throws. Wendell is retired, but the Rays break it open. A 3-run home run off the bat of Jake Bauers. And at the end of 5, Yankees got some catching up to do. Home run number 6 on the year for Bauers gives the Rays a 4-1 lead at the end of 5. In the 6th inning, the Yankees find themselves down by 3 runs. Be Judge, Gregorius, and Stanton. Judge 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a flyout. Matt Andrees still in there, and Judge swings and fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. Oh, 2 on Judge. Andrees paints the outside corner. Judge has a 4-game hitting streak going. And we pointed out in our open how hot he has been in the month of July. That is low. 1-2. Couldn't get him to chase. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and he is struck out. Andrees now with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, it looked like Judge had a really good look at the breaking ball and a good take, but the changeup, you don't see that spin. Looks like a fastball out of Andrees' hand, never gets there, and you're out in front, swing right over the top.
5 strikeouts for Andrees, all of them swinging.
Another look on Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Out in front and over the top.
Here's Didi. He's grounded out and struck out. He's 0 for 2. First pitch is downstairs for ball 1. Didi, like Judge, has a 4-game hitting streak going. Ball is hit in the air towards right center field. Kiermaier and Smith converging, and it's Kiermaier who steps in front of the right fielder to make the catch for out number 2. So with 2 outs, look out. And I guess flash, no harm, no foul. Here's Stanton. His last 7 plate appearances here at Tropicana Field. He is 7 for 7. 3 singles, 3 doubles, and a home run. 5 of the 7 hits have gone to center field, including both of them tonight. Andrees deals, and it's in there for a call strike.
The struggles that Stanton had early in the year against right-handed pitching are a thing of the past. Looks very comfortable. Look like he's picking up the baseball early out of the righty's hands.
Ball and a strike on the designated hitter. Stanton scored the only Yankee run tonight. Had a leadoff double in the 2nd inning. Scored on the base hit by Andujar. Ball in the dirt, breaks off the glove of Sucre, and it's 2-1 on Stanton on the check swing. Last 29 games, that's about a month's worth of baseball. His average is up over 360. That piercing stare out towards the mound. Ball 3. 3-1. You can tell just by the way he's taking pitches out of the strike zone. It's like that's not good enough.
Yeah, that's a 2-1 changeup and not a bad pitch. And you're right, Kenny. Just kind of said, that's not the one I like. I look for a fastball out over the plate. Is Severino checking it out?
There it is, but he fouled it back. Good swing. Count is now full at 3-2.
That's exactly what you dial up if you're Giancarlo Stanton. Get yourself in a fastball count, 3-1. Look for it out over the plate so you can get some extension, and when you get it, put a good pass on it. He did. Fouled it straight back.
Let's see if that alters the plans of Andrees on this 3-2 pitch. Maybe it goes to something off speed. Stanton lines it towards right field. Coming on to Smith. He can't make the play. Stanton is now 8 for his last 8 here at Tropicana Field. 3 for 3 tonight.
And Andrees came right at him again. A 3-2 fastball out over the plate. Now pretty much middle of the plate. But you love Stanton's approach and a great look at it right there. Stays inside the baseball. Knob of the bat goes first. The barrel follows and just drives it into right field. Another base hit.
So the inning will continue with 2 outs and Stanton aboard for Aaron Hicks. He's looking for contact. He was walked and struck out. Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, out, and this is to not only give Andrees a bit of a break, but also get the bullpen up. Looks like Diego Castillo. and Adam Kolarek is the left-hander. Well, they're trying to get ready quickly here. Right-hander and a left-hander. So Andries into his 4th inning in work. He's worked 3 2/3 in relief of Hunter Wood, who worked the first 2 innings for the Rays. Hicks 3 for his last 27. The shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. Check swing, foul back to the screen, strike 1. Infielders play him to pull, the outfielders play him to hit the ball the other way. Upstairs, ball and a strike. Change up, and that was fouled back, but he had a good swing at it.
You mentioned Aaron Hicks kind of going through a little cold spell lately, but that swing right there was right on time. Good pitch to hit out over the plate. Really good swing.
I think when you're hot, you don't miss that. Yep. You don't foul it back. Yeah, that's the type of pitch you hit hard somewhere. 1-2 pitch, and that's upstairs, 2-2. One thing, even when Hicks is not swinging the bat particularly well, he's always shown a pretty good eye at the plate. So he can still get counts fairly deep and draw some base on balls. He has a walk tonight. If he gets on, Gary Sanchez will represent the tying run if he gets a chance to hit this inning. Pitch to Hicks, hit on the ground to the right side, and it gets through the second baseman Robertson. Stanton will turn and head for third base. That's going to be an error on the second baseman that will continue the inning, and Sanchez will get a chance to bat.
Well, the one thing the Rays do this year is they pitch, and they usually play some pretty steady defense. Robertson just boots that one right there. The Yankees get an extra out, and they have to take advantage of it here in the 6th.
Kevin Cash out to the mound. Andries is done as the Rays will go to the bullpen. 2 outs here in the 6th inning. We'll be right back. Can the Yankees cash in? Yankees baseball on Yes using Fox Sports Go, presented by Coors Light. Good crowd on hand. It's Monday night here in St. Pete. Here at the Trop, Diego Castillo comes in for the Rays. This will be his 20th appearance. 21 in the third innings, 24 strikeouts, only 9 walks, and only hitting .184 against him. He faced Gary Sanchez with runners in the corners and 2 outs. Sanchez is popped out, grounded into a double play. The Yankees are looking for that one big swing of the bat, and this would be the most opportune time. Castillo deals, and the ball gets away from Sucre. Here comes Stanton. The throw to the plate is not in time. The ball gets away again, but Hicks is going to remain at second, and it's now a 4-2 game. And Stanton scores. Let's see how they score that. It's going to be scored a pass ball.
Well, the Yankees getting a couple of gifts here in the 6th inning. I mean, that's a ball that obviously has to be caught. Robertson makes the error, and then the first pitch from Castillo, right off of the glove of Sucre. Stanton scores, and a gift run for the New York Yankees.
Well, Hicks moves into scoring position for Sanchez, who's now up there with a 1-0 count. We've seen a couple of scores, one on each side on pass balls tonight. Swing, and that ball, who did it get? It got Mike Winters, the home plate umpire.
You can see Sucre quickly going back. Mike Winters able to smile, but these foul balls that make direct contact with the mask, obviously you're worried about concussions. It looks like Mike Winters is going to be okay.
Veteran umpire, who's the crew chief here. And with 2 catchers standing there, one Sucre and Sanchez, they can certainly know what Mike Winters is going through right now.
Oh, he takes a little step backwards.
In fact, Sucre tried to hold him up so he wouldn't completely tumble to the ground. The umpires have returned to their positions on the bases, as Winters is going to continue behind home plate. One ball, 1 strike on Gary Sanchez. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2.
It's a pitch right there, Kenny, that Gary Sanchez does not miss when he's going right.
Yeah, this is the home run ball, the high breaking ball.
It's a little late on that.
Maybe not picking it up quite quickly enough. So he's behind on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Yankees have put a run on the board here in the 6th inning, looking for more.
Castillo throws hard. Saw that slider, not a great pitch, got away with it. Wonder if he'll come back with the fastball against Sanchez. It was about 97, 98.
Pitch is drilled towards the left field corner. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Off the wall as Hicks will score. Sanchez is on at first with a long single. That ball was drilled to the corner. It's now a 4-3 ball game as Gary Sanchez drives in a run with 2 outs.
Well, Gary Sanchez needed that. Castillo did not go with the fastball. He went with a slider, and again, it's not a great pitch. But Sanchez able to kind of follow through with his back towards the playing field, able to keep it fair, a long single. Sanchez can kind of take a deep breath, a base hit, an RBI, big 2-out hit.
So the error with 2 outs prolonged the inning. Pass ball scored a run, also moved Hicks into scoring position, and Sanchez delivered with the 2-out single. And now the Yankees trail by 1 as Greg Bird will come to the plate. Bird is struck out and lined to single to right field. It's a ground ball to the right side. Robertson has this one, throws on the first for the out, and the Yankees are returned. But they come up with 2 here in the top of the 6th, an inch a little closer. At the end of 5½, it's 4-3 Rays. Rays, and John Flaherty catches the first pitch in Devil Rays history from Wilson Alvarez. Was it a strike?
Ball one. The rest was downhill from there. Like I'm setting up right down the middle, Kenny. Not even close.
That ball probably headed to Cooperstown.
Richie Garcia.
Yeah, Richie Garcia. Well, he's big in New York. Larry Rothschild was your manager.
Was the manager of the first year of 1988 Devil Rays. Larry did a good job. Not much to work with.
Is it hard to believe that was 20 years?
20 years ago. Wow.
Daniel Robertson swings at the first pitch. It's a high fly ball, deep right field. Judge going back near the wall. He leaps, and that one is gone. A home run for Robertson. First pitch here in the 6th inning. Robertson is now 3 for 3. And going back to yesterday, he is 4 for his last 4. It's his 9th home run of the year. And the Rays get one of those 2 runs back. They now lead 5-3.
Well, Robertson made that big error to extend that 6th inning for the Yankees, and obviously comes back with one swing of the bat and drives a solo shot to right field.
That's going to get Chad Green up in the Yankee bullpen. Severino has allowed 9 hits. Here's Malik Smith. He'll take one lone inside for ball 1. Smith tonight is struck out and fly to right.
Up, out over the plate. Robertson's showing some good power going the other way. 9 home runs already for him. Aaron Judge, another good bid. This comes up a little short.
That one made it into the front row. 2 balls and no strikes on Smith. Robertson was hero yesterday with a walk-off grand slam against the Marlins. 3 for 3 here tonight with 2 singles and a homer. Smith hits this one well to right field. Going back is Judge again. This one's off the wall. Smith has great speed, but he's going to stop at second with a double. Well, the Rays are trading Severino quite rudely tonight.
Rays are not known as an offensive ball club. Usually do with pitching and defense, but a good job extending out over the plate by Smith. Getting underneath and driving it to right field off the wall.
It's his 16th double of the year. Larry Rothschild's going out to the mound. And not only to slow Severino down, but give Green some time to warm up. It seems like pitches have been elevated tonight. Can't get the ball down in the zone.
I think the slider's been kind of hit and miss tonight, and you're right. Elevated some fastballs.
Third start in a row that Severino has allowed 2 home runs. That's certainly unlike him. Boone knows his offense is going to have to get it back in gear as the Yankees now trail by 2. Man on second, still nobody out here in the 6th inning, and bring up Willie Adames. The shortstop is struck out, fly to center. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, says Tim Timmons. Of course, Adames doesn't agree.
We'll take a look from the side. And
oh yeah. Trying it down there again. That time he wouldn't chase, and it's a ball and a strike. We're talking about the Rays hanging around and hanging around. This is their 100th game of the year. They have played 40 games decided by 1 run. Today played a lot of tight ball games. Swing and a miss by Adames, and it's 1-2.
Well, when you play tight ball games, situational hitting is such a key. Kevin Cash looking on, and looked like Adames not even thinking about driving the ball the other way, advancing Smith to third.
Another one of the rookies employed by the Rays this year. Feel he's the shortstop of the future. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit to center field. Smith is going to be held on the strength of the arm of Hicks, and it's first and third with nobody out.
Well, Kenny, I think that pitch sums up Luis Severino's night tonight. Gets ahead 1-2 to the number 8 batter and just can't put him away, and it's a decent slider down and away, but doesn't have that finish break on it. Adames takes advantage of it.
So Severino's night is done. Chad Green will be coming in from the bullpen. He threw 96 pitches and allowed 11 hits. Performance.
We're going to take a look at the home run by Robertson. First pitch swinging, exit velocity at 100. Launch angle 27 degrees, and the distance just enough, 371 feet.
It was his 9th home run of the season. First and third, nobody out for the Rays. Jesus Sucre, the number 9 hitter, the catcher at the plate. Rough outing, 11 hits in 5+ innings. 5 runs, 4 of them are earned. Didn't walk anybody, but 8 strikeouts. His pitch count got up there quickly, 96. So Green comes on. First pitch is fouled back to the screen by Sucre. Strike 1.
Severino sitting there is probably the one pitch he wants back, is that hanging slider to Jake Bauers.
Yeah.
3-run home run. You give up 11 hits. Obviously, you know you're not on top of your game. You see the numbers from Chad Green.
Nobody out, first and third. Check at first base on Adames. So far in this game, it's kind of shades of the last time the Yankees were here. Fouled off, and Sucre quickly falls behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Sucre moving up to the number 1 role in catcher for the Rays. As we mentioned, Wilson Ramos, the all-star catcher, out with a hamstring issue. Nine away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 97 miles an hour. Green can rush it up there.
Well, Green has some work to do. First and third, nobody out. He's ahead in the count, 1-2 to Sucre. Has to pick up a strikeout here. He can elevate the fastball. We know Chad Green loves his fastball.
Sucre has been late on the swings, and that's why the outfield is shifted around towards right. Good stop by Gary Sanchez. Keep that in front of him. Count levels off at 2-2.
Yeah, Gary Sanchez has done a good job blocking the baseball tonight. We get another look at it. You see, he doesn't get down to 2 knees, but he does a great job with his upper body angling the ball back to the playing field. Nice play.
Sucre lines into right field. It's going to be in for a base hit. Smith will score. On his way to third is Adames. He'll make it. The ball gets away, but Andujar recovers. And it's now 6-3 Tampa Bay. Sucre with a base hit and an RBI.
We've seen the Yankee pitching Severino and now Green not able to finish off some of these Rays hitters with 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball. It's up. It's out over the plate. You give Sucre credit for going the other way. You feel like Chad Green, the 2-strike pitch has to be a little bit better.
So the light-hitting catcher comes up with an RBI single, back to the top of the order, and Kevin Kiermaier, who's 1 for 3 with a run scored. First and third, still nobody out. Kiermaier takes, maybe a little high for ball 1. That run was charged to Severino. Ball is popped up down the third baseline, and Andujar in foul territory makes the catch, and runners do not advance. So with 1 out, it's still first and third. Matt Duffy coming to the plate. So the 6 runs allowed by Severino tonight are season high. Going back to his second start of the year, he allowed 5 against Boston on April the 10th. Duffy tonight 1 for 3, scored and had a base hit. That was last inning. He scored in front of the home run by Bowers, who was on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Good fastball, 96.
See if Chad Green and Gary Sanchez try something a little different with Duffy. We've talked about him liking the ball out over the plate. Good breaking ball hitter against righties. Hits the ball well the other way. First pitch fastball inside. It was supposed to be away, but it was in. Go away with another fastball.
0-2.
He's shown he can hit the ball away. I wonder if they're going to come in off the plate and make him conscious of the inner half. Everything tonight has been away to Duffy.
Well, you talked about third base being a power position. It had been for years with Evan Longoria. Of course, he was traded in the offseason to the Giants. Ball and 2 strikes. And he turned over the position to Duffy. Longoria is one of the hitters in the league. When he's been in the league, the time he was in the American League, he was among the leaders in home runs against the Yankees. One and 2 the count. Bouncing ball towards short. It's going to be tough to turn 2. To Walker for 1 on the first. Not in time. The Rays going to add another run. As Adames scored, and that too is charged to Severino.
Well, you can see the turn. Gregorius to second base to Walker, and a good turn. Duffy just gets down the line in pretty good shape and didn't hit that ball quite hard enough. Looks like he beats it.
So the Rays now with a 4-run lead. And to bring up Jake Bowers, who had his flash set the big blow of the night, a 3-run homer off Severino in the 5th inning. Pitch is outside for ball 1.
Deflating bottom of the 6th inning for the Yankees, looking for that shutdown inning after they had scored a few runs to get right back in it.
Duffy back at first. His last 3 starts, Severino's earner average has gone up from 1.98 to 2.63. He's in a little rough spot here. There's a strike to Bowers. I told you Bowers is an extra base hit machine. Now 23 of his 37 hits are for extra bases. He's got a double and a home run tonight. Two and one on the Rays' young first baseman, who they feel, along with Adames, going to help anchor that infield for many years to come. Back to the screen, 2-2. He doesn't get cheated, does he, Flash?
Boy, that is a simple approach and a violent swing. You're right, Kenny. When he gets a pitch to drive, he turns it loose.
He had come into tonight 2 for 19, but it looks like he's broken out of it with the double and a homer.
Very simple, not a big leg kick. Simple little stride.
Runner's going. The pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. Bowers strikes out. But the Rays do some damage here in the 6th inning. They score 3 times. They lead 7-3.
The 7th inning, the Yankees got to play a little catch up on our Cadillac scoreboard. They're down 7-3. 12 hits for the Rays, 6 hits for the Yankees. It'll be 8-9-1. Miguel Andujar, Neil Walker, and Brett Gardner against Diego Castillo back out for his 2nd inning. Duhar 1 for 2, had an RBI base hit in the 2nd inning, his 41st RBI. Gallego's getting loose in the bullpen. Ground ball up the middle. Adames comes across. The strong throw. 1 down.
Flashing the leather at shortstop and the speed to get to this one. Slow roller. Looked like and Duhar was jammed somewhat behind the bag, throwing on the run. Shortstops have to be very acrobatic, throw from all positions. We look at this on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. And here's Willie Adames to Jake Bowers.
One down will bring up Neil Walker. Walker 0 for 2 at a ground ball and struck out. Castillo throws hard, 99 miles an hour.
I was going to say, doesn't everybody?
Walker has been getting more playing time lately, getting an opportunity to get it going offensively. He's trying to chip away here in the top of the 7th. Walker ahead in the count 2-0. You'd expect Walker to be taking here, down by 4. Yankees looking for some base runners. That misses a 4-pitch walk to Neil Walker. So Castillo, who does throw hard, does have some control issues. Be back to the top of the lineup. Brett Gardner is 0 for 3 tonight.
Seems like every time Kyle Snyder, the pitching coach, comes out to the man, it's to give the bullpen some time to get going. Like Jamie Schultz.
Snyder with that slow walk out to the mound. Doesn't look like he's in any hurry. Breaking it down with Castillo and Sucre.
Yeah, Mike Winters is going to come out to hurry things along here. Like Schultz and Kolarek.
Brett Gardner a couple of days off, did not play Saturday. The rain out last night. That first pitch fastball misses.
Yeah, the Yankees are in the mode now where they got to get some men on base and then come up with these big hits they've been known for late in ball games.
Walker with a small lead. Castillo struggling.
Yeah, Brett Gardner as good as any Yankee at running full counts. We're getting deep into counts. And Kevin Cash had a look at the bullpen, see who's where. Anybody ready?
Aaron Judge waiting on deck. He's 0 for 3.
Sucre thought that was a strike.
Mike Winters has been giving pitches off the plate. That looks like a pretty good pitch in the bottom of the strike zone.
Well, you know Gardner's going to take at least 1 here, maybe 2.
7 straight balls for Castillo. There's a strike. Take another one, Kenny.
You know, Brett Gardner's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. I mean, if it's right down Broadway, you go for it.
Big hole between first and second for Gardner. And that one not even close. Another walk from Castillo. So first and second, 1 down. here in the top of the 7th, and Kevin Cash looks like he's getting ready to make a move.
You want Sucre to go out and talk first, and here he comes.
There's the call. Kevin Cash making the call to the bullpen. Yankees got something going here in the top of the 7th. They trail 7-3. Learn how the legalization of sports gambling may be a game changer for the digital and technological industries. Plus, get in-depth analysis on the headlines from around the sports business world. That's Friday at 10:30, only on Yes. Diego Castillo just watching in the dugout now as Jamie Schultz takes over. 1-0 record, 3.52 ERA. Schultz had a good Friday night. He had faced 6 batters, retired all 6 of them, and struck out 5. The opponent's batting average .043. Jamie Schultz, and he'll face Aaron Judge. First and second, 1 down. The Yankees trail 7-3. For that one big swing of the bat to get right back in it. Good swing and a miss. Aaron Judge had one thing on his mind.
Schultz was born in Albany, New York. And he threw 4 no-hitters at Maple Hill High School.
Walker off of second, Gardner off of first. An off-speed pitch just misses Aaron Judge up and in. One for Schultz, misses way off the plate.
Now you mentioned Schultz with the 14 strikeouts in 7 2/3, but he's also walked 5 in 7 2/3.
Judge hit his 26th home run of the year Saturday against the Mets. Talked about it in our open. He's been swinging a hot bat in the month of July. Didi Gregorius waits on deck. Two-1 to Judge. Fastball down for strike 2. Schultz has only allowed 1 hit in 7 2/3 innings pitched this year. Walker off of second, Gardner taking his lead off of first. It's a 2-2 to Aaron Judge. Slider just off the plate. They check with Tim Timmons, the first base umpire. He says no.
umpires in the stands thought he did go around. We get another look as Judge. It's close. Yankees might have caught a break there.
See if Judge can take advantage of that.
It really wasn't a side angle look at that one.
So 3-2 goes fastball and he misses down. Ball 4. The bases loaded, 1 down for Didi Gregorius. Three walks in the inning for the Tampa Bay Rays, and Kevin Cash is going to make that trip to the mound again. It's going to be another call to the bullpen. We'll be right back. Begins at 6 o'clock with the Audi batting practice show and the Chevy Yankees pregame, and then we're back for the call right here on Yes and streaming on Fox Sports Go. Well, things getting interesting here in the top of the 7th. Tomorrow's probables: Masahiro Tanaka 7-2 with that 4.54, and then to be determined for the Tampa Bay Rays. Coverage begins at 6 o'clock right here on Yes. The pitcher for the Rays, Adam Kaloric. Left-hander, a little 3/4 arm angle. You see the numbers for him: 1-0, 9.72 ERA, 378 batting average against. Bases loaded for Didi Gregorius, 1 down. First pitch breaking ball misses. The Yankees have 3 Grand Slam home runs this year, 1 by Didi Gregorius. Tampa Bay has allowed 5 Grand Slams this year. It's a 1-0. Swing and a miss from Gregorius on the slider. .333 batting average with the bases loaded. 2 Grand Slams in his career. 1 of them this year. Walker off of 3rd. Gardner off of 2nd. Judge taking his lead off of 1st. Ground ball to the right side. Nice play to Kaloric at 1st. The Yankees add 1 on the fielder's choice. 7-4 Rays.
Give Didi a run batted in. Always felt when a left-hander has to go over and cover first base on a play like this, more difficult than for a right-hander, because he has to reach back across his body to make the reception of the ball, which is flipped by the first baseman. The Yankees score another run.
Well, Kevin Cash back out to the mound. We're going to have another pitching change. We'll be back. average for Stanek, and they are good. 1.96 ERA. Opponent's batting average against 148. Giancarlo Stanton 8 for his last 8 at Tropicana Field.
Stanek has a real fastball, the upper 90s.
Stanton first pitch swinging, fouls it back. Giancarlo on June 24th here at Tropicana Field in a 12-inning game was 5 for 5. 3 for 3 tonight. The batting average now at 283. Most importantly for him, a couple of runners on base. Gardner off a third, Judge off a second. He's trailing by 3. Looking for a big 2-out hit from Giancarlo Stanton.
'99.
Giancarlo Stanton has faced Stanek. It's 0 for 3 in his career. Power against power. It's a 1-1. Pulled foul. Phil Nevin out of the way.
Look out, Phil. Third base coaching box can be dangerous from time to time. You see no harm for Gardner, but Phil Nevin has to jump out of the way. Oh, hop, skip, and a jump down to the turf here at Tropicana Field. 108 miles per hour off the bat on that foul ball.
Comes a 1-2. Goes fastball down the middle. Stanton rockets at the right center field. Be a 2-out base hit. Gardner scores. Judge scores. And Giancarlo Stanton 4 for 4. 2-out base hit and a couple RBIs. 7-6.
9 for his last 9 in this building. Well, Robertson got up the ladder and couldn't flag that one down. Fastball. That one's over 100 miles an hour off the bat as well. 2 more runs. The Yankees trying to come back in this one. 2 more runs batted in for Stanton.
Power against power. The Stanek fastball against Giancarlo Stanton. Stanton wins that battle. 2 down to bring up Aaron Hicks. 9 for his last 9 at the Trop.
Stanton checking to see if that was a foul ball. It was. Gonna have to come back to first. Looked like that might have been up out of the zone a bit.
Hicks 0 for 2. Struck out, reached on an error.
You know, I was thinking that next pitch might be a breaking ball. The way that Hicks swung at the first one, sometimes the pitcher will think, man, he's up here geared up for the fastball. Let me try and get him off of it with a breaking ball.
See Stanton taking his lead off for first. You can't fall asleep on him. He has 3 stolen bases, has not been thrown out. Crowd is into it here at the Trop. Not running. Changeup misses down. And Aaron Hicks was not fooled. Looked like he saw that all the way. Adam Warren, David Robertson getting ready in the Yankees pen. (2-1) Aaron Hicks. Like a breaking ball, little check swing.
Yeah, he was geared up for the fastball ahead on the count. And Stanek went to the tricks. Good location. Looked like it was going to be the fastball over the top, and swings and misses.
Comes a 2-2. Off speed, misses up. That's going to release Giancarlo Stanton. He'll be on the move from first as Gary Sanchez waiting on deck. Three already on the board here in the top of the seventh for the Yankees, looking to add a few more. There goes Stanton. Here's the 3-2. Cutter inside, fouled off by Hicks. Talk about Stanek's fastball, Kenny, but he's showing everything. A little cut fastball, good changeup.
I think he got ahead of Stanton and just thought, well, I'm going to blow him away, and Stanton turned it around. So maybe that changed his whole mind of thinking coming into this game as far as maybe my fastball's not as good as I thought tonight.
See what Sucre's thinking here. Fastball away. Stanton will be on the move again. 3-2 to Hicks. Strike three. Down the middle. Aaron Hicks caught looking. But Giancarlo Stanton loves hitting at Tropicana Field. 9 for his last 9 tonight. 4 for 4. First at bat gets a gift double. Then a base hit his second at bat. Then in the 6th, another base hit. His last at bat, the big 2-out base hit. Couple RBIs. 7-6 Rays. To you by your local Nissan dealers. 7-6 Rays, 12 hits for Tampa, 7 for the New York Yankees. You see the numbers for Severino that Jack was talking about. Hunter Wood, a couple innings. Giancarlo Stanton, 4 for 4, 9 for his last 9 at the Trop. Double, 2 RBIs, couple of runs. And Jake Bauers, a big 3-run home run against Luis Severino. Bottom of the 7th inning, Adam Warren in for the New York Yankees, 2.49 ERA. It'll be his 22nd game. Be back middle of the lineup here for the Tampa Bay Rays. G-Man Choi, Joey Wendell, and Daniel Robertson. Choi having a good night, 2 singles. The Yankees scored 3 in the top of the 7th. Adam Warren looking to shut it down here in the bottom half, but Choi has a different idea as he continues his good night. 3rd hit for him. Leadoff base hit in the bottom of the 7th. On a Cadillac scoreboard, the Rays lead 7-6.
Choi had 2 hits in a Rays uniform coming into the night. He has 3 this evening against the Yankees.
Bring up Joey Wendell. He's 0 for 3 tonight. It's been one of those nights where the Rays have been able to answer offensively. Top of the 6th, the Yankees scored 2 runs. Tampa Bay came right back with 3. Top of the 7th, the Yankees score 3, and the Rays trying to answer here in the bottom half. Adam Warren pitched Friday night against the Mets, allowed a couple earned runs in an inning pitched. It's 1-1 to Wendell. That misses up. Choi taking his lead off of first, does not have a stolen base this year, but he was moving earlier in the game, not running there. Wendell fouls it straight back.
This kind of turned into a wide open game in the middle innings here as we get to the latter stages of the game. The Rays have scored 6 times. The Yankees have scored 5 times. 6 in 2 innings for the Rays, 5 in 2 innings for the Yankees. Look out.
Got a piece of Wendell, looked like a slider down and in, so the Rays have something going here in the bottom of the 7th. Now a quick word from Spectrum.
Spectrum Internet. No data caps, no contracts. Just faster speeds with better performance.
Larry Sanchez out to have a word with Adam Warren, trying to settle him down. Neil Walker. As Larry Rothschild goes to that bullpen phone again. Bring up Daniel Robertson, who's having a big night. 3 for 3 at a home run his last time. Solo shot to right field. At the pinch hit walk-off grand slam yesterday, follows it up with a 3 for 3 night. Looking to add on here in the bottom of the 7th. First and second, nobody out. Slider misses down. Good play by Sanchez. Yankees getting that bullpen going again. J. Cole getting loose.
Crept to within 1 run, but we're running out of time. Got to hold them right here.
First and second, nobody out. Adam Warren looking for that ground ball double play. Fastball up and in. So Warren usually spot on with his control, a little erratic tonight here in Tampa. 2-1. Slider misses up. So a hitter's count for Daniel Robertson, who's been on fire tonight, 3 for 3 with a home run his last at bat.
Borderline at the top of the zone, but didn't get the call.
Dangerous pitch here for Warren. We'll see what he comes with. Goes slider and a big swing and a miss. Joy off a second, Wendell off a first. Three-2 from Warren. Another slider and a big strikeout for Adam Warren.
2 pitches in a row. Slider well spotted. Might have ended up off the corner, but it was this close. Robertson couldn't take a chance and doesn't get it. See the grip, the spin on the ball. Looks like it's going for the corner. Late drop and away. Might have been ball 4, but it wasn't after he swung at it.
Big pitch and a big out for Adam Warren. 1 down. Malik Smith. Changeup misses down and away. 1 for 3, a double in the 6th, scored a run. A tough man to double up. Comes a 2-0 to Smith. That catches the outside corner. A generous strike zone for Mike Winters, a home plate umpire, on that ball away to lefties.
Yeah, it looked like Smith did not agree with that call. Because good reception by Sanchez. Maybe help out Mike Winters. You know, you have to be subtle with the move of your glove. If you move it too sharply, the umpire knows that you're playing around with the strike zone.
All good receivers have soft hands, but they have strong hands, right, Kenny? So you keep the ball in the strike zone or bring it just back. 2-1 to Smith. Fouled straight back.
You know who was good at that back in the day? It was Aaron Boone's dad, Bob. And he just sit and he could get strikes that other catchers couldn't get. Just turn that glove just enough. With the way he received the ball, turn the glove so the ball would hit. Almost turned his glove with it facing the thumb, the 5th finger, the pinky finger facing the pitcher, and catch that ball right on the edge of the strike zone and get the call. Very good at it. It's a fine art.
Comes a 2-2. Big swing and a miss on a changeup. So Adam Warren back-to-back strikeouts here in the bottom of the 7th.
Foul tip into the glove of Sanchez. I always thought the key to a good changeup, and that wasn't a particularly good one, was kind of up. It's got to be towards the middle of the plate where the hitter thinks it's a fastball in the middle, and then he really goes after it, and it's too far out in front.
2 down, bring up shortstop Willie Adames. 1 for 3. Singled in the 6th, scored a run. Warren quickly ahead 0-1. Alvarado getting loose in the Rays pen. Joy off of second, Wendell off of first. And Adam Warren trying to keep it right here. Fastball for strike 2.
Looks like a fighter is taking a few shots early in the round and now rallying himself.
Choi led off the inning with a base hit. Wendell was hit by a pitch. Now Warren heading the count 0-2. Goes fastball up and another strikeout. Adam Warren is pumped up. So the Rays threaten in the bottom of the 7th, first and second, nobody out, but Adam Warren comes back and strikes out the side. For the WB Mason postgame as Bob, Jack, and Meredith bring you highlights and analysis of tonight's game, plus a look ahead to tomorrow's matchup. That's right here on Yes.
On to the 8th inning. 7-6. The Rays are leading on our Hyundai scoreboard. Sanchez, Bird, and Andujar for the Yankees. Stanek is still in there, but the Rays have a left-hander working their bullpen. Sanchez had an RBI single his last time up. Stanek deals, and it's swung on and missed. Strike one. Sanchez with that base hit, 1 for 3.
Sanchez really struggling. You look for maybe something to get yourself going. Maybe that RBI single and a breaking ball was a swing of the bat he needed.
Bouncing ball towards third. Duffy across the diamond, right on the money, and there's 1 out. Yankee bullpen, Dellin Betances and A.J. Cole. Cole was up before, continues to throw. I get the feeling that the Yankees rally to tie or take the lead in this inning. You'll see Betances. Here's Greg Bird. Nash has a left-hander in the bullpen. He just doesn't want to waste him for one hitter. Here's Bird, who was struck out, single, and grounded to second. Stanek deals, and it's low for ball 1. And Duhar is on deck with Neil Walker to follow. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Winters, the home plate umpire, has given pitches away as Andujar getting ready on deck, but hasn't given too many down. A couple of good pitches by Stanek, not getting the calls.
Bird should get something to turn on here. Swings it, pops it high in the air, just behind the mound. Duffy, the third baseman, comes on and makes the catch. 2 down. And that'll leave it up to Andujar here in the 8th inning. RBI single way back in the second, then struck out and grounded out. 1 for 3. Yankee rookie third baseman picked up his 41st run batted in the second inning. Swings and fouls it straight back to the screen. He almost came out of his shoes swinging at that one.
One-run game. Andujar has one thought on his mind. Big swing, fouls it straight back.
Man.
Gotta hurt your left shoulder a little bit, doesn't it, Kenny?
It hurt mine just watching that. High and away, and it's a ball and a strike. And for a lot of you out there, don't try that at home. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Stanek falls behind on the count. Well, we mentioned that the Rays averaged just over 14,500. Tonight's Monday night crowd 14,670 here at the Trop. They've been entertained the last few innings here. Line drive, base hit into left field, and Andujar keeps the inning going. Another multi-hit game for the rookie third baseman. That is his 29th multi-hit game. That leads the Yankee team.
Fastball count doesn't matter. It's a slider, and Andujar just rifles it. Hit over the head of Adames. Left field.
Here comes Cash. And with Neil Walker coming up to the plate, he's going to go to the left-hander, Alvarado. The Rays bullpen's been busy tonight, trying to hold down the Yankees. He's going to pinch hit for Neil Walker here as the Rays bring on a left-hander, Jose Alvarado, and not many left in the bullpen out there. This is the 7th pitcher of the night for the Rays, Jose Alvarado, hard-throwing left-hander. 43 strikeouts and 39 in the third innings for Alvarado, and they're only hitting $197 against him. Yankees have the tying run at first with 2 outs. Drury pinch hitting for Neil Walker, who was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. So Drury getting a chance off the bench. He is 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year. Swings at the first pitch. It's a high fly ball, fairly deep right center. Kiermaier and Smith. But it's going to be Kiermaier who makes the catch, and the Yankees will leave a man on here in the 8th. So on to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Rays maintain their slim 1-run lead.
The authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. New pitcher for the Yankees. As some Yankee fans hoping for at least a couple of more runs here. A.J. Cole come out of the pen. He's done a good job since coming to the Yankees. This will be his 12th appearance. 2-0, 0.92 ERA and 25 strikeouts in 19 2/3 innings. Sucre is the first batter he's going to face, and the first pitch breaks off the glove of Sanchez, and it's ball one. Sucre had a run scoring single in the 6th inning. He also struck out, grounded out. He's 1 for 3. After Sucre, back to the top of the order, and Kiermaier. With our Hyundai scoreboard, 7-6 Rays. Swing and a miss, ball and a strike.
There's that good slider from Cole. He seems to be able to throw that anytime he wants as Drury takes over at second base. Give that ball a ride to right center field, just not quite enough.
Swing and a miss, 1-2. A nice, easy delivery. Gathers and fires. Ball is fouled out of play.
It's such a luxury if you're Gary Sanchez or Austin Romine when you catch Cole, where you know he can go to that slider anytime in a fastball count, throw it for a quality strike.
There's Betances. And Gallegos flanking Chapman as Sucre strikes out. Second time he's gone out on strikes. Cole strikes out the first man he faces.
There's a first pitch fastball and then a steady diet of sliders from Cole.
So 1 up, 1 down to bring up Kiermaier, who was singled and scored in 4 trips. Returned to the lineup tonight. Been a rough year injury wise for Kiermaier. Same thing last year. Last few years. As he takes a pitch for a call strike, the Rays actually signed him to an extension. But he has missed a lot of time on the DL. Premier defender in center field. Check swing. Did he go? No. That's Angel Hernandez at third base. Ball and a strike on the Rays center fielder.
It's the first time we've called Angel Hernandez's name tonight. That's unusual when he works. And a good call by Angel.
That misses outside, 2-1. Yeah, the umpire who lines up at third base to begin a series, you're not going to see him behind home plate. So he'll get as close to home plate as first base on the in the third game of the series. Foul back to our left. 2-2. On deck is Matt Duffy, the Rays third baseman. Slow roller to the right side. Yankees have a man there. It's Didi Gregorius who throws out to Speedy Kiermaier, and they're 2 down. Tonight's game seems like early in the game there were warm-ups. Rays got a run in the first, Yankees got one in the second, then teams started putting crooked numbers on the board. As each team, multiple run innings. Yankees, I should say the Rays got 3 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, the Yankees 2 in the 6th, and 3 in the 7th. Right here in the bottom of the 8th. 2 outs, nobody on for Duffy. Swings at that slider. And it was out of the strike zone, and it's strike 1. Cole will deal. Tried it again. That time Duffy wasn't biting. Ball and a strike. And this is kind of a good area for fishing. The next pitch fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Director John Moore does not miss a trick. Duffy behind on the count, and it's 2-2 as things level off. Cole trying to hold him right here, give the Yankees a chance, down by a run going into the ninth. High fly ball to center field, fairly well hit, but Aaron Hicks is there, and that will do it. 1-2-3 for the Rays. We're going to the top of the ninth. Aaron Judge will hit in the inning. Back to the top of the order. Yankees down by 1. Can they rally here at the Trop? Yankee fans were smiling, but the Rays were. As Jake Bauers hit a 3-run home run. Was back in the 5th inning. So Bauer is one of the hitting heroes tonight. Jose Alvarado trying to nail it down for the Rays, but he's got some tough customers coming up this inning, leading off with Brett Gardner. Gardner has scored a run after he walked in the 7th. He's 0 for 3, but Gardner, Judge, and Gregorius with Stanton, the red hot Stanton, scheduled to hit cleanup in this inning. Alvarado deals, and it's inside ball one. He's got a good fastball, 97 miles an hour.
If you're the Yankees, you're all lined up here, top of the order, 1-run game.
Judge is on deck. Inside ball 2, 2-0. Another high-octane fastball from Alvarado. Taking all the way, and that's in there for a strike. 2-1.
Could have went either way. Brett Gardner looked like he was taking all the way. I mentioned it. Mike Winters, the home plate umpire, has given some in and off the plate, not a whole lot down.
That was a close one. Strike 2. Alvarado fights back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball to the left side. Has it to third baseman. The throw will not be in time as Duffy can't get to his feet quickly enough. Gardner has an infield single to get it started here in the 9th inning.
You see Duffy asking Adames about what that play would have looked like if he'd let it go. Lays out and then has to come up with the throw, and obviously the way Brett Gardner runs, it's not even going to be close. You wonder if Adames would have had a better chance at it. The backhand and the strong throw. Either way, an infield base hit for Brett Gardner.
Anytime an infielder loses his footing and goes to the ground, you think Brett Gardner's going to beat it out. I don't know if Adames would have got it. Tying run is on. Judge to the plate. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Yankees trying to rally here in the 9th inning. They're down by 1. Outfield is deep. Look out, it's inside, ball 1.
Well, manager Kevin Cash for the Rays has been mixing and matching all night. No action in their bullpen. Did a lefty Alvarado against Aaron Judge.
Alvarado has picked up 3 saves this year. He's not been the primary closer, though. That's Sergio Romo. Ball 2 just inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Outfielders are playing the no doubles defense. They do not want Judge to hit a ball over their head. If it goes over their heads, probably headed for the seats. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Looked like Judge left the strike zone.
Yeah, Aaron Judge was going to take a chance fastball and try to get the bat head out, and obviously down and in out of the strike zone. Took a chance, it didn't work out. And you try to lock it back in, get to that disciplined approach, look for that fastball out over the plate, set your sights on right center field.
Ball gets away from Sucre. Gardner's on his way to second, and he's now in scoring position. The count goes to 3-1 on Aaron Judge.
Well, there have been some pass balls tonight, and probably not going to be a pass ball, be a wild pitch as it hit the dirt. Sucre tries to backhand it, can't come up with a clean, and now Brett Gardner in scoring position.
Alvarado just spiked that one. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Another pitch that looked like it might have been out of the zone.
Same thing. Alvarado yanks it down and in, and Aaron Judge helps him out.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Gardner at second, representing the tying run here in the top of the 9th inning. Nobody out. The 3-2 pitch. High ball 4. Potential go-ahead run is on base. 2 on, nobody out to bring up Didi Gregorius.
Well, we'll take a look at the pitch by pitch to Aaron Judge by Alvarado. First pitch fastball misses. Next one misses. Third one's going to be down and in. Aaron Judge helps him out. Then the ball that's spiked down. Wild pitch. Then a little help from Aaron Judge again. Then Alvarado misses badly. A nice play by Sucre just to get a glove on it.
Well, things are going to slow down a bit here. As Kyle Snyder goes out to the mound, it's going to give somebody a chance to get up in the Rays pen. We're moving around out there down the right field line. Yu is just called up today, and he's going to warm up. So Alvarado trying to paint himself into a corner here. Didi Gregorius is going to speak with third base coach Phil Nevin. You know, I can't see him bunting here, because even if he's successful, they're going to walk Giancarlo Stanton.
You take the bat out of Stanton's hands. You want Stanton to swing the bat here in the 9th inning.
And Didi kind of holds his own against lefties. Didi tonight is 0 for 4. As Boone goes over to talk to Nevin, and Nevin went out to talk to Didi. While the outfielders move up a bit, they want to have a chance at a play at the plate. Alvarado deals. Didi tries to lay down a bunt, fouls it off.
Shocked.
I am too.
That didn't look like a great attempt, and you got a guy in Alvarado who throws hard and is kind of all over the place. Not an easy combination to bunt. That would have been ball one.
It's ball one. Didi does not have a sacrifice bunt this year. He gets one down. They walk Stanton and puts the onus on Hicks. Squares the bunt, gets it down. Alvarado comes up with it. His only play is the first. Didi gets the sacrifice down. Gardner goes to third. Judge goes to second. Stanton comes to the plate. Now as the move is on the Rays. And I thought I saw 4 fingers held up. Yeah, Stanton's going to first base. So Didi gets the sacrifice. It goes 1-3. Stanton is walked intentionally, and as I said, that's going to leave up there in Hicks here.
Well, the good news for the Yankees, Alvarado has kind of been all over the place. Now a lot of pressure on him to throw the ball over the plate.
Hicks has shown a good eye. He's walked once tonight, but he's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He did score after reaching on an error. Bases loaded, 1 out. Yankees are down by a run.
If you're Aaron Hicks, you want to be that hero and you want to be aggressive, but you have to be paying attention. Alvarado very erratic with that fastball.
Hicks is a tough man to double up. Well, he squares the bunt, takes a pitch for a call strike.
Little safety squeeze, takes a look at it, borderline down.
Yeah, I'm not giving anything away in these at-bats.
Obviously, you got to be disciplined and swing at strikes, but you have an opportunity here to get a big base hit.
Inside, and it's a ball on a strike. 98 miles per hour. Hicks is 3 for his last 29. Trying to come through here. Switch hitter jumps over to the right-hand side of the plate. And his batting average has been a little better. 259 as a right-handed hitter. The 1-1 pitch swung on in, missed, strike 2. 98 miles an hour. On deck is Gary Sanchez. Alvarado has given up a hit, infield single, a walk, and an intentional base on balls. The sacrifice moved the runners into scoring position. Stanton was walked intentionally. And Hicks looking for his first hit with the bases loaded this season. Hits a ground ball to third. Duffy's coming home. There's one. No throw to first. They erase Gardner, and now there are 2 down, and the bases remain loaded. As Hicks hits into the fielder's choice.
Well, you can see Aaron Hicks is frustrated, but just you have to put the ball in play. Alvarado comes with a breaking ball. See Aaron Hicks way out in front, expecting the fastball. Duffy has a few options. You could go to second base and turn the double play. Decides to go home to cut off Brett Gardner. I think that was the right play. As you mentioned, Kenny, Aaron Hicks runs really well. Got out of the box in pretty good shape. Would have been tough to double him up.
All right, that'll leave it up to Gary Sanchez, who's had a run-scoring single tonight. Another look at Hicks. Yeah, there he is getting down the line. No chance to double him up. 2 outs, bases loaded. 7-6, the Rays lead the Yankees. Alvarado, hard-throwing left-hander on the mound. Sanchez has an RBI single that came back in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3. High and inside, ball 1. Make that 1 for 4.
If you're Gary Sanchez, we talked about that RBI base hit early on. Something to get himself going in the career with the bases loaded. Outstanding batting average at .444.
5 for 6 with the bases loaded this year. The #1 priority is make this guy throw strikes. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. 97. I don't think he's thrown a pitch under 97 this inning, with the exception of the breaking ball. The runners will be off with a crack of the bat with 2 outs. Sanchez hits one to short. Second baseman flips to the shortstop, Adames. He's safe to throw to first. Is in time. And the ball game is over. Sanchez hit a rocket that the second baseman Robertson fielded. Flipped to Adames for the force. That was not in time, but a heads-up Adames threw on the first base and got the out. And the Rays hang on and win by a score of 7-6.
Disappointing loss for the New York Yankees. Plenty of opportunities. And you're right, Kenny. Gary Sanchez hits this ball hard. Robertson goes to Adames at second. He's not going to be able to make the play, but his heads up enough to continue the play to first base as Sanchez getting down the line. Obviously doesn't run well, and they get him by plenty.
So that goes 4-6-3 for the final out, as Alvarado can celebrate, and he picks up his 4th save of the year. So the Rays win the opening game of the series. Let's take a look at Sanchez, who hit that ground ball.
He wasn't busting it out of the box. Tries to pick it up at the end. That's just inexcusable right there.
Yeah.
That cannot happen.
He might not have been safe, but it would have been a lot closer. And that's it. The Rays win this first one by a score of 7-6. We'll be back to wrap this one up from Tropicana Field.